So I came across this Newsweek article, and as you can see from the headline, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle break their silence over the recent South Park episode. The South Park episode, you'll remember, is in reference to Harry and Meghan, and it was so jokes. Harry and Meghan had been silent about it, but there were rumours circulating that they were going to sue South Park, and that Meghan was upset about it, and they were having their lawyers watch it to look for any errors. And so now Harry and Meghan have come out um, to respond to those allegations. It's through a spokesperson that they have said that the allegations or the rumors that they are going to sue South Park are baseless and boring. So, okay, boring, okay, fine. But baseless, fair enough. And I actually am glad that they came out and spoke about it, because it puts an end to all of that reporting and the endless rumors and speculation and really unfair criticism of them, if it's not true. And it obviously comes from the backdrop of all of their litigation that they seem to start when there are things that they are not happy about. So obviously rumors came about that, oh, they're going to sue South Park because they're so litigious. So I'm actually glad that they came out and said, this is baseless, this is boring, because it actually does show that they've got some reasonableness about them. Because at the end of the day, this is satire. This is a cartoon, for God's sake. And there is a disclaimer that South Park gives that, these are just characters. And frankly, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were given, or they have this disclaimer in the South Park episode, which is a lot more than what The Crown was willing to give the royal family on Netflix. So, I think that their response is fair. I think the word boring is a little immature, but baseless, fair play. So I am quite glad that they've come out now and said that, essentially this is all rubbish, and they're not going to sue. And I'm glad that they've taken it on the chin and they're just going to leave it as it is, because at the end of the day, South Park are equal opportunity haters. And they're a string of people that they have done episodes about or based their episodes on certain characters in the public eye. So Meghan and Harry are not special, and I'm really glad that you took it on the chin. Everyone enjoyed the episode, and you guys should just laugh about it. And frankly, you've made it if you've made it on South Park. So I came across another article on Newsweek.com. It essentially says that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's popularity has hit an all-time low after this book Spare and the Netflix documentary, which some people refer to as a reality TV series. I'm not surprised. I think they might be surprised. And also, I don't know about these polls. We hear about these polls in the UK. I mean, I don't know how many people take these polls because I've never taken a poll. So every time they talk about polls, 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 I don't know the pool of people that they actually survey or that actually take part in these surveys, or how many take part, the age group, etc., etc. So I'm a bit skeptical every time I hear about a poll. I'm like, all right. But you can generally get the idea that the temperature and the flavor in mainstream media and also on social media, you can kind of get the sort of general flavor, but there will always be pockets of people on the other side. So I don't really take these polls too seriously. But looking at this article, I'm not very surprised by this. And I would suspect that Harry and Meghan would be surprised, because given that the book sold so much and has broken records, and given that the Netflix series has also broken records, and given that Meghan's podcast had so many views and was extremely popular, I think that they probably would be surprised by this. But what they need to understand is that, yes, okay, they have numbers and they're bringing in figures, but it's not always positive. That there's a lot of people that read about them and watch them and listen to them because they're haters. And also, a lot of people like to report on them. So they obviously want to find out what's going on. Like me, for example, I don't really have any feeling about Harry and Meghan. I don't really like them. I don't really not like them. I actually am so indifferent, but I do report on these things because I find them quite interesting. And I do report on other matters. because I find them interesting. And so I think there are a lot of people like that that just watch or listen just to find out what people are talking about, to find out what the truth is for themselves. And obviously, you have reporters and other bloggers and things, so they watch them and listen to them for that very reason. But it's not out of admiration and love. They're not from their fan base, and so it may be right that they bring in these figures and these views, but they've got to realize that it's not all positive. It's not because all these millions of people love you and are interested in you, or interested in you for the right reason. And they may not care, to be honest. They may think, well, we have the last laugh because we're bringing in the numbers, we're bringing in the views. Even if you hate us, you're still watching us, so you're still a fan. So, we still get the money at the end of the day, and any press is good press. So fair enough. I guess, that's them. Me personally, I would not really like that, whether or not it's the numbers, whether or not I'm pulling in figures and views in the millions. I would not be comfortable if a lot of that was negative, or viewing me just because they're haters. I would feel that wouldn't sit well with me. And it also wouldn't sit well with me if the brand that I'm trying to portray to people is one of charity and compassion and empathy and love and peace and equity and all of that stuff. If that was where I wanted to come from, and yet all the material I was putting out, there was just so much hate and criticism of it, even though those are bringing in the numbers and the press, and I'm always in the news and I'm always in the press, I would still feel some way about that. I would still have some integrity. And I hope that Harry and Meghan also have some integrity and see that, okay, these polls are low. So what does this mean for us? Okay, so just moving on to another article I found. Prince Harry and Meghan to make Met Gala debut days before King Charles's coronation. Oh, God. Lord have mercy. Oh, I don't even know what to say, to be honest, with this one. Um, why? 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 I just, why? Who? I get that they're trying to find a purpose, but I thought that their purpose from the beginning, from their engagement interview, was that there was so much in the world that needs to be done. There is so much change that needs to be done, and they want to help to make change in the world. And since they've left the royal family, I don't know what they're doing. What are they doing? I'm confused. I'm really confused as to what they stand for, what their purpose is. You see these fashion magazines and The Cut and Vanity Fair and the People magazine and the podcast, Netflix, Spotify, and you see, Ellen DeGeneres and these talk shows, and I'm confused. And then you see they go into the Met Gala. I mean, are they fashion icons? Are they celebrities? Are they in that world? Are they I don't know. Are they? I don't know. I I honestly do not know what to say about this. And I've heard that the ticket for an event like this is in the tens of thousands of pounds. And frankly, I would think that they would find better ways of spending tens of thousands of pounds, particularly as they're supposed to be these motivational, humanitarian, human rights ambassadors. I don't know. But what I will say though is that at the end of the day, I wonder what they're gonna wear. I wonder what Prince Harry's gonna wear. That's gonna be really strange. And what's he gonna do? Turn up in a tuxedo from Savile Row? Well, gosh, that'd be interesting. And it would be really interesting to see what Meghan wears. Because I don't find her very, without stylists and things, I don't find her very fashion forward or very adventurous with her fashion. And the Met Gala, from what I see, everyone is very daring and they go all out with the theme of the year, and people are very daring and very theatrical, and it's great to see what people wear. And so I'd be interested to see what she does, and whether it's going to be enough to take the limelight on that short carpet in the Met Gala up the stairs, because I think she'll just come with something very simple, but very, very elegant and very beautiful, but not necessarily pow. But to be fair, this year, the theme is Karl Lagerfeld. So I think they probably got lucky with that, because there's a lot of very chic things that they can wear. And obviously Karl Lagerfeld has the history of Chanel. And so, I think they got lucky with that theme, to be honest. So anyway, moving on. So this article I came across on newsweek.com, and it's about Harry's court case against the Home Office with regards to his security when he's in the UK. So he started this, well, the decision that he shouldn't have the Metropolitan Police security was made in, I believe, February 2020. And then he issued a judicial review to the court to review the decision that was made by the Home Office. And what he says is that he should have been consulted in that decision, and not just the royal household. What I understand is that when he's in the UK, or when his family's in the UK, what I understand is that he wants to pay for some police protection. So, okay. So the last I heard of it, he won his judicial review and he was allowed a court hearing on this issue. So there's been an update because the cost of bringing this case to court has been revealed, or the alleged cost. So what it is that Harry is bringing the Home Office to court. What that means is that the cost that it takes for the government to come to court, or to be taken to court, is going to be paid by the UK taxpayers, the UK public. And also, so not only the cost of the Home Office, meaning, their representatives and their legal representatives, and the cost of court fees, etc., but it also means the cost of the actual court running. So as a court sits, the cost it takes for the judge to be paid, the court time, the court staff to be paid, that is all paid by public money, right? And obviously could have been used in other cases if it wasn't used for this case, but there we are. So what is being said is that the court case so far, or the proceedings, is costing the Home Office approximately and allegedly £300,000. And this is before the court case has even actually started. So it could be a lot more than that. So that's a roughly £300,000 plus. And then if Harry wins the case, the Home Office are going to have to pay his legal fees. So that would be £300,000 plus whatever the court hearing is going to cost, and then plus Harry's legal fees. So that will all be money that is coming from the taxpayer, given that it's a government body. And then obviously on top of that, you have the actual court costs of how much a court costs to sit in a day or 2 or 3 or however long the case will be. So that is all coming out of public money. Obviously, if Harry loses, he's going to have to pay the Home Office fees, their court fees, their legal fees, sorry. So that is obviously if he loses. So I personally am a bit peed off by this whole thing. One, I don't think he should have done this, and 2, I don't think this is the type of case that needs to come into court. 3, I think it will create a mad precedent when you have rich people and people of public significance, like public figures, MPs, politicians, whoever, rich celebrities. They could also do what Harry's doing, can they not? Or if Harry wins his case, would they not be entitled to the same protection? Would they not? I mean, would that not create a precedent? Fourthly, the running of the case, is it going to be public? So are we now going to know really confidential and private information with between Prince Harry and the Home Office in relation to security and the running of security and how that is done? Are we going to then have access to intimate details, which is going to be a danger in some way? And fifthly, what is this nonsense about how he needs so much security? Am I missing something? Because this security, my family in danger, I need to protect my family. It's almost like Harry and Meghan have some particular danger that I'm not aware of, because as far as I'm concerned, why are they any different to any other member of the royal family? Are they not as at risk as any other member of the royal family? Are they not at risk as any other public figure or any other controversial public figure or any other public figure in the political sphere? Are they not equally in as much danger? And what I don't understand is that if the initial decision was made by the Home Office in February 2020, since that time, Harry has been here for the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral. He has been here for the unveiling of Princess Diana's statue. He has been here they have both been here for the Queen's Jubilee with their children. And let's not forget, in the Queen's Jubilee, Meghan Markle rolled the window down in their car, and both of them were shushing little kids at the window, so standing right by an open window. And they've both been here for the Queen's funeral, and they were doing walkabouts and so forth. And the One Young World Summit in Manchester, and that's not even a royal event. And I think Harry was due to attend the World Child Awards or something in London, but if it wasn't for the Queen's funeral, he would have been there. And I think that's also not a royal event. Frankly, those are the only times that we know of. I don't know if they've been in Britain for any other time. And so it seems to me that why do you need this particular security in this particular way? At the end of the day, it seems to be tried and tested that your family have been here and been safe, because when they are at public events, at royal public events, they are automatically protected. And as I understand it, the royal security is decided on a case by case basis. But if they are at big public events like, say, the Queen's funeral, they are already protected by royal security. And then at other times, he's at his place in Frogmore Cottage. And is that not one of the safest places they could be? It's so remote. They had Lilibet's first birthday in their garden, for God's sake, and they were able to release their own photographs. There was no paparazzi. There's not usually any paparazzi photos of them walking about. So I would think they're quite safe. I wouldn't think that the ordinary man or woman can easily get to you, frankly. And if you've got security, your American security, or even security that you pay for in England, that may be derived from ex-policemen or ex-Secret Service or whoever, ex-bodyguards, whatever. If you have that security, then that should be enough, shouldn't it? I mean, I don't imagine you walking down the local high street without any security. That doesn't work, mate. The places where you would be are so elite and so private. Your private clubs and, all these private events, exclusive events with security anyway, your secluded mansion, and then you're going to have your security anyway. To me, it seems a bit bizarre. And I don't know, but people like Eugenie or Beatrice, they're members of the royal family, but they're not working members of the royal family. So do they have access to security when they're out and about? I mean, I don't think so, And I understand the argument about Prince Andrew, but frankly, I mean, the heat that was on him, I mean, he does need security. But it seems to me from reading various articles that his security is going to be stripped. His royal security is going to be stripped if it hasn't already been stripped already. And then he's going to have to pay for private security also. And, he was heckled when he was parading behind the Queen's coffin in Scotland. I believe it was in Scotland, and he was heckled, you should be in prison or something. So I think the danger to Prince Andrew is probably quite real. But I don't suggest in any way that there isn't a real threat to Harry and Meghan, because there probably is. And frankly, there probably is to a lot of other members of the royal family. I mean, the Queen's had her incidences, and Prince or King Charles had his incidences, and Princess Anne was almost abducted. I mean, I get it. Yeah, I do understand that there is a threat, and I do understand that Harry will be very, very fearful and paranoid, particularly because of his mother. But you guys, I feel like they want to be treated special rather than just be treated like everyone else. I feel like they want more, that nothing is ever good enough. So it seems odd to me. It seems like, okay, you don't want the role. You've now left the role. This is your job. You've now left the job, but you want to continue with all the perks and the benefits, like the money and the status and the titles and the security. And you want to live with the benefits of living in a fishbowl, the protection from all that is bad in the world. But you want to have the benefit of living outside of the fishbowl, which is the freedom, and the freedom to make money. And I'm sorry, mate, but I don't think it works like that. So I'll be interested to see what the court decides here. I would be worried that it would set a precedent, but I wish Harry and Meghan safety. I wish their family safety. And I hope that if they don't win, that they get, a very experienced and a very skilled security team around them. And I wish them well. And at the same time, matey, I am not a fan of paying for this nonsense, particularly when you are living in a life of luxury with an endless bounds of ability to make millions and millions of pounds. And I can barely even pay my bills every month. And there are plenty of people out there who are just suffering. So can we keep this costing down, please? Because this is ridiculous. Okay, guys, I'm going to end it there. Thank you for listening. And please don't forget to subscribe. Bye.